much to Dane's chagrin, we have this article from Bounding Into Comics that says Halo showrunner Stephen Kane says writing team, quote, didn't look at or talk about the game. We talked about the characters in the world. And a collective sigh and faint-hearted bleh happened around the world from everyone that has ever played a game anywhere. And every comic book reader or fan of comic books turns to them, and it becomes that James Franco meme where he goes, first time.
Right. Yeah.
That's exactly what this is. So it says the red flags continue to fly. There was a great picture earlier. It was like all the pictures of this just with red flags everywhere.
By the way, this article is a gem.
Is it?
This article is a gem.
What is it about it that you love the most?
What isn't there about this article that's absolutely incredible? They've really captivated the genius.
I imagine that when they write these articles, they're just like, yes, we're gonna get to
behind this decision making. We can honestly go we could beat the whole show on the mastery of this article.
So it says the red flags continue to fly for Paramount Plus's upcoming Halo series. As in a recent interview, showrunner Stephen Kane has revealed that despite penning, now listen to this number, 265 drafts of the live-action adaptation, he and the writing team did not look at or talk about the original games in any capacity. I imagine there's somebody like the kid of somebody who he's like writing this, and his kid's in the other room. This is like what I pictured. He's like at a desk in his kitchen. He's writing these scripts. And he does that thing where you fold it up and you throw it behind him, and behind him his kid's like playing Halo and is like really immersed. He's like, this is such a great story, and he's like, this thing's just never gonna come out good. How are we gonna make this work?
Let's recap.
Yes.
So the team that insists on not seeing the source material,
Yep.
its showrunner, despite not knowing what the game is and what the fandom has enjoyed, has penned over 265 drafts.
Yep.
Of which...
That's almost one a day for a year.
Correct.
3/4 of a year.
Of which 10 of these incredible drafts that are based on pretty much notes from Microsoft are episodes.
Yep.
Is everyone following so far?
I imagine that he got through maybe he got through script 100 and goes, let's just do a different timeline.
Guys, do you want to be in showbiz? Listen up to how these geniuses think, okay?
Yep.
So, step 1, ignore the source material completely. Step 2, write 265 drafts.
Just a few.
Of the thing you haven't read. May I read the second paragraph?
Oh, no, please. Make my job easier.
Kane revealed that Halo's writer's rooms, two possesses for some reason, proud ignorance of Master Chief's original video game outing during a recent interview with Variety, given alongside various members of the production team in promotion of the series' upcoming premiere.
I believe the quote, the most important words there are the two big ones there. Proud
ignorance of Master Chief's, the protagonist, original video game.
Yep.
Speaking with a trade outlet, he asserted, we didn't look at the game. We didn't talk about the game. We talked about the characters and the world. So I never felt limited by it being a game.
This is kind of, I know other people have evoked, James Gunn did the same thing to John Cena for Peacemaker, where he told him, he goes, please don't read the comic strips because it will limit your character. Well, you know what, dude? You ain't James Gunn, and This is not the Suicide Squad.
And this isn't about a character acting a role. This is about the whole piece.
Yep.
The guy that's constructing the whole piece and his team are proudly ignorant that they've never played it, have no interest to play it, and did not source it at all.
They have a strong disdain for the target audience.
This is their marketing. Hey guys, you want to know what I do? I do marketing and digital marketing and these kind of things. Pro tip, don't do this. Are you kidding me?
It would be like me coming in here I proudly don't pay attention to anything to do with pop culture or movies. I do not watch movies or pay attention to anything to do in these industries.
Right.
I don't need to.
Proudly.
That's yes. And then you have to brag about it.
Brett, because had you paid attention, you wouldn't be able to draft 265
That's true.
stories made out of the blue because you don't know what the
You're doing.
fudge you're talking about,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Okay. Anyway,
So we'll keep going. Turning to the topic of the Master Chief himself, the showrunner asserted he's everybody, right? He's you, he's me, he's a 6-year-old girl, he's a 15-year-old person in a different country. Whoever plays the game is him. I bet you I can literally see the look of pride on his face as he said this.
had you played the game, you would know. Dude,
You can back up. You can back up from the mic.
Wait, get away from the mic.
With thoughts, feelings, emotions,
I
and
apologize
actions
to everybody.
Yes,
that move the story forward.
Dane, move your mic down just a tad.
Imagine.
Did do this for me?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Lower the volume.
No.
Lower the volume for Dane.
There are characters that are
Hashtag.
mentioned once in a book that I was able to give a whole backstory to, and other characters that were already well written that I had to just drop in. He said, I have to give credit to Microsoft. You can pitch them something brand new, and unless it's really complicated them in terms of the canon or the values of the show, they embraced it. This reminds me of when Kathleen Kennedy made the comment about, she goes, well, Marvel has all this source material they can draw their movies from, as if the expanded universe for Star Wars didn't exist for like a gazillion days before that, and they just pretend like there is no like Star Wars canon outside of just the movies. So it says, this decision to split the story from the Halo video games was further touched upon by 343 Industries head of Halo Transmedia, Kiki Wolfkill, which again, coolest name ever. Props to her. And
Is
whoever
that even her legal name?
I would hope. If it's a stage name, then it's just meh. But if it's her real name, her parents are badass.
Like, I searched it up. It looks like it's her real name, but I feel like she changed it just because.
It's maybe like she has a boring first name, but she's like, you know, it would go well with Wolfkill, Kiki. It's I like it. It says,
No, like she was like, you know what's cool? A Kiki Wolfkill.
See, I don't know if like it was like, yeah, is she like a badass who like came up with like what? No, it would be a cool. Well, we're getting off topic.
I'm glad you two are like in
Yeah.
up spirits.
Yeah,
honestly.
I know.
glad-
I'm here to just watch the cope from you.
I'm glad someone's
Hey,
happy.
if I have to deal with this with comics, and if I have to deal with this with other various forms of media, then other people can feel my pain.
Fine.
Brett said, your tears is my cup of joe.
I didn't say that. She's making that up. That would be true. That would be cool though if I had one of those
Okay.
like lame cups that says like nerd tears from like those people who work in nerd related industries, but they're just just awful people. So it says, early on, we were thinking about doing something that could tie very closely with the game. I'm sure they abandoned that crazy notion very quickly. Just like the game. It's not like there isn't 15 years. How long has Halo been around? 15 years? It's not like there isn't like a gazillion years of like proof that the story works because people keep playing it. Why would we do that? Let's pen 265 scripts that will eventually lead to all the gamers being like, I'm not watching this. What we were finding was trying to verbatim stay with everything that had come before wasn't serving the medium. Now,
Who told you to do that?
there's an
though?
argument to be made, if I'm playing devil's advocate, and I don't think she's right, that there is a difference between an adaptation and a straight retelling. And most of the time, whether it be books, comics, there does have to be changes that are made to the material to make it fit within the storytelling medium of sound and picture. But given that video games now is almost as more infamous for their cutscenes as they are for the gameplay themselves, right? The cutscenes are beautiful in a lot of things, but they go farther in this because remember they take off Master Chief's helmet. They don't care. They do not care. And I don't believe for a second that was relevant to the storytelling medium, that his helmet had to come off because it's a live action project and not a video game project. The argument, I guess, would be when you play the game, it's first person, so you're imagining yourself as Master Chief.
Listen, they wouldn't know anyway because they never played the game.
Exactly. So it says, admitting that he had never played the game prior to his joining the series, executive producer and director Otto Bathurst, Robin Hood 2000. Oh my God, why would you brag about that? Robin Hood 28 confessed, I was nervous. How do you take a first-person shooter and expand it?
Yeah, because there's no war movies that are popular that you can reference.
Nope, none.
None. There's never been one.
There's no way I was ever going to see. Here's the thing.
The genius of these people is like truly astounding.
I almost feel bad for a lot of them too, because it's their desire to advance their careers has to come into conflict with the fact that they're getting involved in something that they have no way of really truly grasping. The people that made that would make something like this, well, like it's like a Star Wars. Again, I'll reference Star Wars. I'm not even a huge Star Wars fan. There's always those people who show the fan films, which are always infinitely more, there's more joy to them. They feel more authentic to the creation because every single person involved in the process, top down, now granted it's usually just a few people when it's a small product like that, are passionate about the material. Have you ever seen the live action Batman fan films? Like on YouTube? They're incredible. Like there's like Arkham fan films on YouTube that you can watch that are just mind-bogglingly good, and you're just not being treated to seeing Hollywood A+ cinematography. You see really good stuff, but it's not Hollywood A+ cinematography. And you're seeing actors who are likely either really passionate about the character, or they hire people that are just getting into acting who just don't have a resume. And all of those things feel infinitely more in tune with the characters' origins than something like this. But they need to do it to advance their career.
Dude, this movie's gonna be made by like former BuzzFeed writers.
That
It
sounds
depends.
about right.
Like some of the BuzzFeed writers might have actually played the game when they were kids.
What you hear,
I feel bad for you right now. I'm so glad I don't care about Halo.
Do you though?
I legitimately like. This is the same thing that's happening with Lord of the Rings. I'm like, I'm so glad these aren't things that I care about.
This is what's happening with everything.
Yeah.
Dude, if you're a Star Wars fan right now, you're basically a Fast and Furious fan. You're just getting churned out garbage every year that's slowly but surely losing its soul. Yes, Miracle. Yes. Okay? And this war epic is going to be done by theater nerds that don't even know war movies are real.
These aren't
and don't want to check out the game.
These aren't even theater nerds. The people talking here are the suits in the back office. This is different than these are the producers.
I don't know. Their language is a very theater nerd.
Yep. So it says, while not explicitly related to the series' ignorance of its origins, another red flag was thrown up when Paramount Plus programming officer Tanya Gillis revealed that the streaming platform's plans for the series. This is a swing for a broad audience. It's always for it's like how many I would have loved to can somebody look up maybe if it's possible to look up how many copies of Halo have been sold. I'm just curious.
I'd be curious.
I don't know if such a number exists, but if we're talking broad audience, I would love to know if that's what they consider
more than 70 mil.
Okay, so that's far more than your average person is going to ever see as far as like getting something out to the public. Most shows on network television won't do that number in a week of an episode. No. So something like this, it is just really funny to me that I love that it's always like you're always going to be disappointed. It's always going to have to be for a broad audience, which means. I'm not saying that that's the right thing to do. Why? Is because that's what they're told in business school.
Don't they get that broad audiences don't care what they're watching? Broad audiences will follow the trend. So if you make something good for the hardcore fans, everyone in their family is going to have a hardcore fan, and then it's going to get spread around, and then normies are going to jump on the conversation and pretend they loved it the whole time. Now you're going to make a hunk of shit. Because that's what you're going to make with this. You're going to make a hunk of shit, and no one's going to promote it. And congratulations, you just like threw millions of dollars like down the drain.
Which is weird because then we get tons of movies where like it's the most niche movie you've ever seen. And then when you say like, why was this made? They say, it wasn't made for you. It wasn't made for you.
Who is this made for?
It's made for normie. Honestly, my objective answer would be theoretically, someone like me who's less plugged into these industries,
it's still bad no matter what.
Well, as I'm saying, like someone like me who loves excellent cinematography, loves excellently made products, but isn't necessarily doesn't necessarily play the game. They might be stupid enough to think that they're going to pay respect, that they're going to treat the property with a certain amount of respect. I've known Hollywood for too long to know that that's not what's going to happen.
I really want them to record like 3 seasons and have them like packed and like launch the show. Have like the show fail in like episode 3 and have to can everything out of like memory hole everything out of existence.
You may get that wish because I have this article here. It says Halo 2 starts filming this summer, says Master Chief actor. So they didn't even wait. They're that confident in their product. Now, I will give them credit that there is, as much as what we're complaining about is valid, and everything we're saying about how they're disrespecting the lore, how they're disrespecting source material, how they're treating something that's obviously already has mass appeal as if it's something that's super niche, as much as we have valid criticisms of that, they're absolutely right that there are the normies of the world who will likely eat this up, but it's like they couldn't stop themselves from promoting themselves with awful press.
Dude, normies are not going to eat this up.
We'll see. I'm just saying sometimes something is just you put enough laser blasts on screen and enough explosions and the average person will just shut down and watch.
I gotta tell you that like the laser explosions do look pretty.
No, the cinematography is fantastic.
Yeah.
Master Chief looks fantastic.
I'm sure.
But in general, I'm just saying there's a lot of people who will just turn it on, tune out, and watch because it's something like that. But what they could do to minimize the problem would not have articles like that first one where they're talking about how they proudly did not watch this. All they had to say was like, hey, we have a lot of respect for the source material and I worked my way through as much as I could, but the writing process is heavily focused on the cinematography and the writing aspect, which I could not take all of it into account, but we did our best to stay loyal to the franchise. Even if it's a complete lie, it sounds better than the shit they wrote.
Just lie. Pop culture crisis fans.
Just lie.
It is I, your president, Dane Fawn. Yes, I am the president.
President of Earth?
Pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, I know Stacey. Anyway, she's competing with that one.
Yep.
It's between me and her. Anyway, as president of Earth, I command you to not watch this movie.
Oh,
it's
damn.
a TV show.
It's a TV show.
I command you not to watch this TV show. Yeah, I don't know why it's a movie. I command you not to watch it.
Yep.
I command you not to recommend it to your friends.
And I've skipped over all the other.
Let us crash this together.
I have skipped over, and the funny thing is, like, I only covered this one because it was so egregious. I skipped over the articles where they talk about how it's about the girl in the show and not about Master Chief, how it's about Kwana and not about Master Chief. I skipped over the articles, even though I have it here, about how they take off his helmet and how they say that it's necessary to remove it.
Dude, what if they go for like a feminist angle? Is like, no woman has ever been Master Chief. Well, she can.
They should do that.
They should
know.
do
It's a her story. She'll make her story.
her
Stop.
story.
She'll make her story.
Stop. Stop.
Miracle does not like
it's
this
the
idea.
opportunity for her story.
No.
Miracle
No,
is.
we already ruined Hershey with that BS. I don't want
Oh,
that.
did they do that with Hershey's?
Yeah.
Hershey's.
No, but they said instead of Hershey's, it was like her, she, and like she's
Oh my
bolden.
God.
But I don't know. Why aren't we talking about the
I imagine that somebody at Hershey's like saw those letters together and was like, "Oh my God, we have the greatest ad ever."
I hate it because it's highlighted in blue. It's not even an appetizing blue.
Not even a pink.
No.
Well, that'd be
That's
very rude.
sexist.
That's sexist.
But yeah,
Well,
how
Brett's
come
internalized misogyny
Miracle,
coming up again.
you play a lot of like phone games and stuff like this. Would you? Is there a game? I guess because a lot of stuff that you play comes out from Japan, right?
yeah,
So you'd have more faith that they would come up with a more faithful adaptation than
most
Hollywood
likely, yeah.
was.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
and plus they make really good games. Like my favorite game, I don't play it because it takes too much data, but it's called it's like the food game where you play as like different foods. Like rice is like a cute little girl that floats in the air, and then coffee's my favorite. Ooh, his glasses are great.
But you would have
yeah.
faith that if it was adapted to a live action project, theoretically, if it was made in Japan, it would be better.
I
than-
believe it, and I believe it would do it justice. And same thing with Korea. Korea
Yeah.
does it like somewhat good.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
a lot of their K dramas is adaptations of like mangas from
Yeah.
Japan. So I don't know. Like
I've-
watch Boys. What's Boys?
Boys.
Boys Over Flowers.
Okay.
Like that one is an adaptation from Hana no Dango, and it's like basically
I'm so glad I didn't have to say that name.
yeah.
I
So
would have screwed that up really bad.
basically it's about a girl who owns like a Japanese pastry shop, but this one, like the Korean K-drama, basically she's like a poor girl going to a rich school, and like four guys like slowly fall in love with her.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All
yeah,
right.
and the richest one like falls in love with her and they get married and I love it.
But the point is, they would do it better, and
Yeah.
you would not turn into the poor gentleman that Dane is right now,
No.
who's just having his life ruined.
No, look at Full Metal Alchemist.
Why would you say that? Brett?
Why would you say that?
Look at Full
Hello.
Metal Alchemist. It ruined Dane.
So it says, while speaking with Collider for the series premiere, Master Chief actor Pablo Schreiber revealed that Halo Season 2 will begin filming this summer. Though keeping details on the next chapter of the series under wraps, the stars said that they have a hard date on production for a key location due to weather-related issues. I just imagine him being like, and that's when I pass the helmet down to the female Master Chief.
I don't know. You should-
Chieftress. Is Chieftress a word? I think I made that
I
up.
really hope that's what happens.
Well, what about the interview he did with Collider?
The one about the helmet?
Yeah, I believe it's him talking about the whole suit situation.
Yeah, we don't even need to. We've established that these people do not care
Come on.
about any of this stuff, and Dane is very sad.
Dane, do you want to hear it from the actor himself?
That I feel like we've kind of broken him already.
Oh,
Look at
it's
him.
okay.
It says the game. Oh, so he says the game was made as a first-person shooter. So what you're meant to believe is that you're the Master Chief. He elaborated. So the character. Okay, Dane, do you believe that to be true? Like when you play as in a first-person shooter, do you imagine that you're that person?
Not with the character.
Not when there's an established lore.
Has its own established lore.
Exactly.
His own voice, his
Yep.
own personality, and people reference him individually from you.
I do love how they whoever thought of that
Right.
excuse, they're like, yes, that's a great excuse. We'll use that.
Yeah. It really, I mean, it's as good as you can get when you're these
Yep.
geniuses.
Well,
Yep.
they're filming season 2. Are you happy, Dane?
I'm super happy, Miracle. Thanks for asking.
He looks very happy right now.
I'm very happy. I'm ecstatic.
Uh,
Are you happy, Miracle?
I don't know.
I don't think
I'm
she
kind of
is.
scared.
Are you happy?
I'm kind of scared. Like he's giving me the eyes.
I'm
Or-
happy because it means I get to make more videos with Dane about this, which equates to more fun for me.
Good for you.
Yes.
I'm kind of scared now because Dane is giving us like the crazy eyes.
What crazy eyes?
You have crazy eyes.
What crazy eyes?
Okay, they went away.
I think they're just sad eyes. I feel you, bro.
No one knows what it's like
Yeah, exactly.
to have Halo ruined.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.